idea. I find that when I can play playfully, play without commitment, play with different ways, or play with different ideas, when I can play with an idea, then what happens is it's free flowing, it's easy going, it's not hard at all. But when you can go into a playful mode of anything, I find that playing with an idea of maybe what I want to do, or maybe where I want to go, when I can play with the idea of all that is coming around, you have a bigger chance of getting where you want to go. Hold on. The idea. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I had a pop-up come here and there. It's crazy. When I can play with an idea, then I can better have a chance on what direction my life is going to take. Because when we can focus on, one thing or little things or maybe a huge thing that we want to accomplish. But I like to take ideas and play with them. Saying, okay, what happens if I do this? What do I want to happen if I do that? So you go on the up and down scale that way of playing with an idea. I like to always have a focus, like on where I'm going to go for the next 2 years. What do I want to have happen in my life in the next 2 years? So whatever you're doing, have a focus on something or some direction that you want to go in. When I know that my focus, wherever I'm going, knowing that my mind and thoughts create matter, right? Your mind and your thoughts are creating matter. And it does this all the time because what we have to do is, in the thought process, we have to be able to take the thought, which is energy, and project it out to the universe, and the universe will bring it back to us in a matter form. And this is how thoughts become matter. So, couple easy ways to do this, and it may take you a little bit to get in the hang of this and a little bit to get going on it, but I find that when I can do it 2 hours a day, or I should say 4 hours, because I'm going to do 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, is when you're in the alpha and the theta state of mind. So 2 hours before you go to bed, so I'm going to do this tonight, I'm going to do it backwards. So 2 hours tonight before you go to bed, start thinking of what you're affirming, what you're doing, what you want, a trail you want to be on, what you want to affirm. That is going to put you into the theta state. As you're going to get ready to wind down to go to bed, you're going into the theta state. So, and when you do this for 2 hours, it's going to give your subconscious, which is the key right there, your subconscious mind, which is going to get that program developed. It's going to get that energy form growing right there. So use that because it is important to do that. So when you do this every night, 2 hours before you go to bed, you're going to find yourself in that state of mind of winding down. You're getting into the alpha state. Maybe you're doing it while you're laying in bed. You're not quite asleep yet, but you're almost there. And that's the theta state. You're going into theta. And as you get all the way to sleep, you will be in the theta. So as you're getting yourself primed to go there, then you're going to get yourself on the right path. You're going to be going in the right direction that you want to go. And then you're going to sleep through the night. You'll have dreams. You'll have inspirations or whatever. Whatever comes your way. It could be all or none. It could be everything or nothing. It could be all the above. So do this every night. And then in the morning, when you wake up, you're going to still be in the alpha, which is you're waking up. You're not quite all the way awake yet. And it's a scientific fact that our minds stay in the alpha state for at least 2 hours after we wake up. It takes our minds 2 hours to get acclimated. Even if we go right into a routine, that's on autopilot. That has nothing to do with us getting acclimated to the day. That is us on autopilot. So do the same thing for 2 hours. It's going to happen. 2 hours. 2 hours as you're waking up. What I like to do is, as I'm waking up, I know I have a routine that I do every day. But as I'm waking up, you've heard me say before, I always have an affirmation, I always have gratitude, I always have what I'm working on. And I always recite that out there to the universe as I'm waking up. So that's keeping you right there. You're in the alpha state of mind. So in the alpha state, you're still in that part where your brain is receiving more information. It's receiving more data. It's receiving from the universe. And it's receiving easily because you're not doing anything to stop it. You're not doing anything to get in the way of it. So 2 hours in the morning and throughout the day, I like to just do affirmations throughout the day. A little bit here and a little bit there, as everyone already knows. I've explained this several times before. So one thing is really important though is to keep yourself in a receiving mode. I like to stay happy. And I know it's really hard if you're around people that aren't happy, people that are complaining, or people that are doing whatever it is you're doing at the workplace, or maybe you're at school, or whatever you're doing, and people aren't always going to be happy. People aren't always going to be on this same wavelength as you are. And that's fine because it's not meant to be that way. So, but I like to stay in a happy, contented frame of mind. This keeps me in the receiving mode. To receive what I want, to do what I want, and to have come back to me everything I desire. So by doing these little steps daily, which is actually only 3 if you think about it, it's in the morning, 2 hours. Think about it, get it going. And you can start that before you even get out of bed. If you have to, if you go by an alarm, set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier. You could take a little bit more time waking up and getting acclimated. So, and then you have during the day, which is, hold on, 2 fingers, which is you're being thoughtful, you're being, in the playful mood, you're being consistent, you're being happy, you're being contented, all the above. And then at night, 2 hours before you go off to dreamland at night, you're going to start winding down and floating off to Neverland in a dream world. So those 2 hours at night and 2 hours in the morning are critical because we tend to take these times in our lives for granted. But these are the times in our lives when our brains are most susceptible to programming. Exactly. So look at what's happening, look at what you're doing, and look at all the ideas that come to you as you're going through these simple steps. Okay? It is simple. It is that easy. And you know what? It is good. There's so much out there available for you. You just have to open up and let it happen and let it come your way. And when you do, you're going to find this programming you're doing, the manifesting that you want to have happen is happening. You just have to look at the signs that it's coming your way and take advantage of it. When you do that and you can take advantage of the signs that are coming your way, why not be successful? Why not have prosperity? Why not all the above? Why not be that person? Why not? I know you can. I know it's possible. I know it's right there for you. So, 2 hours in the morning before you're all the way awake, 2 hours at night, and then throughout the day, be happy, be contented, just be grateful. And when you let gratitude flow through you, nothing else can get in the way. It's hard for the devil, it's hard for evil to get in the way when you feel gratitude. Even feel gratitude for the bad things that happen. Say, well, you know what? I'm grateful this happened to me now and not later because now I can deal with it. Or whatever you want to say to make it better. Okay? Use your own words, use your own philosophy on that, because each thing you come up with and each step you take is going to be a benefit for you and those around you in the long run. Okay?